Oh, welcome back to Trash Man MMA. I'm the Trash Man, and we're going over Imavov versus Baraujo, man. The card just wrapped up. And honestly, dude, this was a fucking amazing card. This was an amazing card. I believe there was 11 finishes in total. There was 13 fights, and there was two decisions only. The main event and William Gomez. All other fights ending in a finish. This was a spectacular fucking card. That's an empty bowl that's on my desk right now. That's I'm slamming around. But what an amazing card, man. So many amazing finishes. I'm so down to go over every one of them. And we'll start off with the main event, man, since it's fresh in my mind. It literally just wrapped up. I'm watching Harry Hardwick get wheeled out in a wheelchair. Oh my gosh, we're gonna go on that, and that inspired me to make a video. But the main event, Nasruddin Imavov versus Kyle Baraujo. I picked Kyle Baraujo to absolutely masterclass Nasruddin Imavov to have a 49-45 type performance. He would lose one round and then get a 10-8 in another round and just winning every other round. But it was quite the opposite. Nasruddin Imavov was the one that 49 or 50, 49, 46 or 50, 45. Kyle Baraujo, depending on how you're looking at it. I had it 49-46. I thought Baraujo had won that. I believe it was the third round that I thought he had won. And this was just not very close. It was close, but then yet, it wasn't. Nasruddin Imavov, as I predicted, he was lightning fast, a lot faster than Kyle Baraujo. I had predicted Nasruddin Imavov to win the first round with just absolute speed. I had predicted Kyle Baraujo to land more low kicks and more shots to the body. He did land a lot of shots to the body, but not nearly enough low kicks, in my opinion. He didn't really chop at him as much as I would have liked to see him do. And Nasruddin Imavov took full advantage of that. Every time he went back to his corner, I thought he was more and more gassed. Just for the way his posture was, he just looked defeated at times in his corner. But every round he started off super hard. It never looked like he wilted. So I guess truly the talks of his gas tanks being a bad gas tank, I guess it's time for those narratives to stop, because it looked like Kyle Baraujo was the one that was low-key gassing at times. In the second round, the way he came out in the second round, he just didn't look all too well. He also looked super gay. He looked super gay this entire time. I don't know what it was with his look, but he just didn't look, you know. But man, Nasruddin Imavov, I want to say he actually picked up a thing or two watching Kyle Baraujo tape, because Nasruddin Imavov is usually never this dynamic. He's never throwing this many shots. He's not throwing these type of shots. Like, he doesn't throw knees and step in elbows, but all of a sudden for this fight, it was nothing but knees and step in elbows when they were in the clinch. And that's usually Kyle Baraujo's bread and butter. Usually he's the one that's he's the one that's throwing those step in knees, those knees to the body, those knees to the thigh, and before he crashes in, he'll lead off with a step in elbow. So I was very surprised to see kind of Nasruddin Imavov just do it before, which I guess would make sense since he's a lot quicker. But I didn't think he would implement things like elbows into his games. But he did, and it honestly gave him great success. Great success. He clearly won the first round, although it was competitive. I don't know where the people got the numbers at that it was 21-10 for Kyle. It was nothing like that. It was literally made up numbers. Round two, very evens. I had it 13-13 round two on my personal numbers. Round three, I stopped counting because the round got a little crazy, but I did have Kyle winning this round. And then the fourth and the fifth were just clear. In my opinion, there were clear Nasruddin Imavov rounds. Kyle Baraujo didn't really do much, although I do think there should have been a point deduction in round number 5. Yes, they were both cheating, but I thought Imavov was landing a lot more, dirty shots. But I mean, it is what it is, man. They're both, at the end of the day, they're both pretty dirty fighters. But Nasruddin Imavov absolutely masterclasses Kyle Baraujo and just 50-45s him, man. Kyle Baraujo looks slow. He didn't look like he wanted to pull the trigger. There was points in times where I felt like he should have went, or he should have threw a low kick, or just something that he just wasn't doing. But at the end of the day, Imavov himself didn't really didn't really throw as much. He didn't really. He's a watcher. He's a sniper. He picks his shots, and a lot of the shots from both of them were missing. Like, I don't want to say Nasruddin Imavov absolutely masterclass Kyle, because at the end of the day it was close. And Imavov was missing a lot of shots, but so was Kyle. They both missed a lot of shots. Like, I know I was watching that, listening to the commentary say, "Oh, those shots are crazy. Oh, what an uppercut!" But they were all just glancing blows, and you can't really say glancing. They were just weren't hitting. So they both missed a lot, but they both when they both landed, they landed well. And Nasruddin Imavov shots, man, they were just had that extra thud. Like in the second round, he was landing nasty body shots. He was landing nice elbows off break. Not elbows, but a good right hand. Kyle would come back with one, but it would already be like 3-1 on like really big strikes. So just didn't do enough. It was just one of those things where he just didn't do enough consistently. And Imavov was quicker, lighter on his feet, and I don't want to say more dynamic, but more successful with his variation of dynamicism. So Nasruddin Imavov gets it 50-45, 49-46, and 49-46 on all three judges' scorecards. Kyle Barajo, maybe an Israel Adesanya fight for him next, or something like that. But yeah, Imavov definitely has deserved and solidified himself as the #1 contender. He should be next for the belt. Although I don't think he has the slightest chance in hell to beat Khamzat Chimaev. He's good. He's really good. And Nasruddin Imavov is a really good striker. He's the fastest striker in the division by far. He's probably one of the best boxers in the division, minus Sean Strickland, I guess. But Nasruddin Imavov is lightning fast. He's lightning fast. He has great boxing counters. Like I mentioned all in my video, he's lightning fast and he has amazing pocket boxing combos. And that's what it was. He's lightning quick, and his nasty pocket boxing combinations would just rattle Kyle Barajo's head back from time to time, and that's exactly what it was. But definitely, he's above. He's a league above all the strikers. But when it gets against DDP and Khamzat Chimaev's, I'm not too sure how well I favor him. I do think he could beat Anthony Hernandez, and I do maybe not Anthony Hernandez or RDR, maybe not. Because he is very complacent on his back. So if he gets on his back, I can see him just, getting controlled for the round. But that's the main event. Nasruddin Imavov wins. I get it wrong. On to the co-main event. Benoit Saint-Denis is back, dude. The hype train is fucking back. Choo, choo, choo. We are all aboard the hype train of BSD, bro. Flukus Glazy predicted it perfectly. And so did I, low-key. I just didn't get my pick right. But I predicted Benoit Saint-Denis would absolutely steamroll Mauricio Rufy in the first round and in parts of the second. And then in the third, get knocked out brutally by Mauricio Rufy. But it did not get that far. Benoit Scam Denis, which is no longer a scam, got it done in the second by a face crank or rear naked choke. Looked more like a face crank to me. I'm not too sure if I don't believe Mauricio Rufy's chin was visible, so I want to say it was more so a face crank that just kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and honestly just forced him to tap because he was in there for a while. It's not like he panic tapped. It's not like he didn't have any other option. He was just stuck with his face getting squished. He couldn't do anything. He was stuck in it. He didn't panic tap. He was actually very calm throughout the entire situation, but it just wasn't enough for him. He gets submitted in the second. Benoit Saint-Denis mauls him in the first. Honestly, Khabib versus Conor, he just mauls him, man. Mauls him in the grappling. And Mauricio Rufy, got back at times. At times he did have very good IQ. He would separate from the grappling and he'd get back up, get back to his feet, create distance, and they'd be right back at it. But Benoit Saint-Denis would land a shot or he would throw a high kick and then he would immediately go for a takedown. And it was insane. I can't believe I can't remember if it was him or somebody else. I think it was somebody else who got a wicked takedown. So we'll get into that later. But got some nasty takedowns from Benoit Saint-Denis. Mauricio Rufy got back up to his feet well at times, but just not enough. And in the grappling department, it was just a night and day difference. Benoit Saint-Denis was leagues better than Mauricio Rufy. How good is Renato Moicano? How good is Renato Moicano? Jeez Louise. But yeah, Mauricio Rufy folds, and we have two fighting nerds down. I took off my Fighting Nerd shirt and I put on a Volkanovski shirt, and then that one got too hot, so I then put on a different shirt. But Benoit Saint-Denis gets it done, and honestly probably kills a lot of people's prediction rate. I know it killed mine, but I'm not really too mad about it. I was very hyped for the win of Benoit Saint-Denis. It was very cool, very motivational as well. But yeah, he also just completely outstruck Mauricio Rufy as well. Even on the feet, it was just a clear, like Mauricio Rufy just looked very dumb at times. Like he would just throw a lead uppercut from his fucking foot. He would throw a lead uppercut from the damn canvas, and Benoit Saint-Denis obviously wasn't fucking there. And he would just pitter-pat him up with the fucking jab. And then after that jab, here's a takedown. And Mauricio Rufy just never saw it coming. He stuffed some, but not nearly enough. He did rock Benoit Saint-Denis at the beginning of the second round, though. I had skipped it, though, because my, not live stream, but yeah, the live stream on ESPN, it was behind like 15 seconds. So I ended up jumping 15 seconds into the round. So I missed like him dropping Benoit Saint-Denis or whatever, or hurting him. So I missed that part, but still, what a demolition derby job from Benoit Saint-Denis. On to the next. Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig. Paul Craig retires, Paul Craig, the Berju, he retires. No, but Paul Craig, he does retire from MMA, put the gloves down. Modestas Bukauskas put a mean whooping on him, but also not really, Like, these significant strikes show 22-6. Bro, these significant strikes, yeah, the total strikes, they were neck and neck, bro. Like, hold on. Paul Craig was winning that knee to the body battle. They were throwing lots of knees at each other, both back and forth, both to the body, and Paul Craig was winning that battle. But as soon as he pulled guard in the final 30 seconds, it was wraps. It was wraps. Even before, you just knew that he was gonna pull guard at some point in time. You were just kind of expecting all right, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? And I was like, all right, fuck yes, he's not gonna do it. He's gonna coast. He's gonna coast this first round and win this first round. Let's fucking go. Jumps up in the air, pulls guard, lands flat on his fucking ass and head, and Modestas Bukauskas follows up with some shots, immediately losing Paul Craig the round. And then, to make matters worse, Modestas Bukauskas uncorks one of the nastiest fucking elbows I've ever seen. Genuinely, the wind-up on this thing was next level. He brought it back all the way in the air and followed through completely. Elbow point straight on the temple of Paul Craig. Just puts him out cold. Not out cold necessarily, but out cold enough to just stop the fight, man. Stop the fight. The fight gets stopped at the mark. Not even 1 second to go. Just rounds over. Couldn't get up. Couldn't pick himself up. He was out cold. He was done. And yeah, what a good performance, Modestas Bukauskas, man, on a 4-fight win streak, training with Tom Aspinall. What a dude, man. What a dude. We're definitely going to have to see what's up with this kid. But like I said, Paul Craig was winning some of the striking battles on the feet a little bit too much that I didn't really like to see. On to the next, Balaji Oki versus Mason Jones. This was a really good fight. Balaji Oki, again, I missed the first 15, 20 seconds of this fight. But Balaji Oki came out fucking swinging. Came out guns blazing, throwing with mean intention. Hooks and hooks and hooks. And Mason Jones looked like he was in huge trouble. Balaji Oki knocks him down early. Mason Jones looked like he's wobbled on the feet. Looks like he's going to get caught up out of there, Looks like he's going to be donezo. But he pulls it off in the second half of the first round. He drops Balaji Oki himself, which looked like a trip, but I believe they counted it for a knockdown. Looked like a trip, though, in my opinion, or it just kind of looked like a stumble. But he capitalizes it. He starts a grappling exchange. They start grappling on the floor. Mason Jones goes for a Kimura. He goes for a Kimura twice, actually. And the first attempt is super close. Second attempt, not really there. But the ground and pound that he did and all the control time that he got in the first round and ground strikes that he landed, it just won. In my opinion, it won him that round. He knocked him down, and then he himself got a submission attempt. I mean, that's two big moments to one big moment. So I give that first round to Mason Jones, even though the adversary Yeah, the adversity that he went through in the beginning of the round. And then the second round, it was just a more of a mauling. He would take him down, and he got a disgusting takedown on Balaji. I believe Balaji shot him for a takedown. Mason Jones stuffed it, picked him back up, and then he shot himself, put him up against the fence damn near, and just absolutely tipped him on his head. It was one of the sickest takedowns I've ever seen. It was such amazing grappling from Mason Jones, and it's entertaining grappling. Hamza, it's very entertaining grappling. So Balaji Oki ends up just raining down elbow after elbow after elbow on Balaji Oki, forcing the ref to step in, literally forcing the ref's hand. Like, some of the elbows weren't the craziest. They weren't the craziest, but they weren't they weren't half bad either. And there were some shots getting through with his hands and whatnot. But Mason Jones clutches up and gets the second round comeback TKO, man. Very impressive. I was very hyped watching this. I'm glad we have another Welsh gangster, you know. Onto the other fights though. Axel Souza or Sola, yeah. Axel Sola versus Reese McKee. To this day, I'll never understand why anybody picked Reese McKee. On my soul, I get it. There was points in time where Reese McKee in the first round, low-key looked like he was going to piece up Alexa Souza. But, dude, why would anybody go Reese McKee? He went 0-4, and he just got his first win. He just got his first win by, like, a doctor stoppage, I'm sure, as well. Like, why was anybody picking Reese McKee? I mean, I get it. They might have done fucking research. They might have done ball research on Alexa Souza, saw he wasn't that good. But at the end of the day, bro, it's fucking Reese McKee. You're acting like Reese McKee's any good himself. He was on a 4-fight losing streak until his last fight, dude. And this is a 10-0 prospect who's found a way to win every single one of his fights. Now 11-0. In my opinion, he was winning this 10 out of 10 times. I don't know why anybody picked Reese McKee, but I'm going Alexa Souza. Or I went Alexa Souza, and he won. On to the next fight, William Gomez versus Robert Ruchala. The only fight other than the main event to go to decision. William Gomez kind of just outdoing Robert Ruchala for multiple rounds. Hold on, my God. Ah! Oh. William Gomez just outdoing Robert Ruchala. Knees to the body, kicks to the body, shot like right hands and fucking jabs to the body. Everything to the body that was clearly having an effect on Robert Ruchala. He was wincing in pain. He was hunching over extremely. I've never seen somebody hunch more over in a fight. It was kind of crazy, unless they're going down. But Robert Ruchala was completely hunched over. All the high kicks weren't landing for William Gomez. I would have liked to seen him put him away with how hurt that he would look at times. And Robert Ruchala would do his things, though. There was a few times where he would start swinging haymakers back and forth with William Gomez. There were some few right hands that were really close to William Gomez, and I mean really close. There was some of the right hands, man. It was insane. But they were all narrowly missing, and William Gomez was just outdoing them in his hometown. It was to be expected. William Gomez gets it done, I believe, at 30-27 or 29-28. I don't remember. On to the main card of the how do you say the main event of the prelims? Omar Sy versus Brendanson Ribeiro. Omar Sy gets it done, man. Omar Sy gets it done. I forgot how he got it done. What happened? I don't remember this fight, you know. Maybe Omar Sy dragged him down and just I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember this fight. Like, what happened? I remember Omar Sy having him pinned up against a fence in some way, and is that just how he KO'd him? Just put him up against the fence and just rain down shots? Because I really don't remember anything else, if I'm being completely and brutally honest with you. I don't remember anything else. And I'm trying to find a highlight on my story of him. Yeah, okay, so he just got him up against the fence. He had his back, and he just rained down right hands on the guard of Brendanson Ribeiro until the judge stepped in. And, you know, Omar Sy got the biggest pop of the crowd. You're going to have to start putting this guy on main cards when he goes to Paris. Like, this guy got the biggest pop from the crowd. During his walkout, during his interviews, during everything. He was like, France. Or he was like, this is your France. This is your France. And, or Paris. Very cool. Cut Brendan Cejudo. He's like 2-4 in the UFC, or 2-5 probably. On to the next fight: Marcin Tybura versus Ante Delija. Ante Delija gets it done with snappy shots on the feet, snappy right hand, snappy jabs, just hurting Marcin Tybura too much and finishing him in the first round. Very impressive though, very impressive fight, or very impressive performance by Ante Delija, to make quick work of a top 10, like, a staple of the top 10 division. Put him out in the first round. There's only been 3 people to do that before. That's 2 of them being Sergey Spivak and Tom Aspinall, So to get Marcin Tybura out of there in the first round, that's an impressive feat no matter who you are. This guy does not be put away in the first round that easily. So good job for Ante Delija. I was really sad for Marcin Tybura. Hopefully he bounces back, which he will. Marcin Tybura, star GOAT. We still love him. On to the next. Harry Hardwick versus Quay Fernandez. Now this fight, I was at work. From this point on, from this point down, I was at work for all of these fights. I was watching them through the corner of my eye. I had my phone in my hand while I was doing shit. But this video is inspiring me to make a video called Top 10 Worst Debuts in the UFC. Top 10 worst debuts ever. This might have been worse than Patricio Pitbull, Aaron Pico, and whatever that other bum's name is combined. Not Mario Batista, but the guy Mario Batista fought. All those 3 bums, Harry Hardwick is worse than all 3 of them combined. Harry Hardwick has never seen a professional fight in his life. I'm in disbelief that he's actually trained a professional fight in his life. He looks like a jiu-jitsu guy, but it's so hard to believe that you're this deep into your career and you don't know what a leg kick is. You don't know how to check a leg kick, bro. Like, are we fucking dead serious right now? You're in the UFC, but yet you still don't know how to check a low kick. That was just embarrassing for me. And Quay Fernandez knew himself. He would kick him and then he would fall over and he would just walk away. He'd be like, bro, come on now, get the fuck up. Because it was just an embarrassing sight, like seeing a man grovel around on the floor and then leave the cage in a fucking wheelchair acting like you're crippled or something, bro. It's like, and he was trying to rile the crowd up. He was like, yeah. It's like, bro, stop showing us that you're in a good mood, bro. You did awful. We know you're not hurt. Your leg just hurts. We know you're not injured, broski. Just shut up. Just go to the back, man. Hey, put a towel over your head and just go to the back, dude. Nobody wants to see you cheer while you're getting wheeled off of the fucking stadium, man. Like, what are you doing, bro? It was a terrible, awful performance for Harry Hardwick, and just a good showing for Quay Fernandez. Honestly, just a free win for him, free layup, to get a win over a former featherweight champion. Once this kid, I'm going to tell you this, though. Once this kid goes to featherweight, he's getting absolutely brutalized. There's no way you're that skinny, that weak, and that just, like, frail for a featherweight fight. Arnold Allen looks like a fucking middleweight compared to this kid. So, on to the next fight, though. Quay Fernandez gets it done. What? Oh, yeah. Sam Patterson versus Trey Waters. Sorry, I got confused for a second. I thought Trey Waters and Sam Patterson was after the Harry Hardwick fight, but hold on, man. I got yawn, man. Sam Patterson gets it done in the first round. That's 4 straight for Sam Patterson, and he gets it done against Trey Waters in impressive fashion. He doesn't put him out cold or anything, but he does hit enough shots, just enough right hands right on the dome of Trey Waters for the ref to step in and call it off, because it was just success, like straight right hands in succession. It was just one right hand, then another one, then another one. They weren't like super fast and quick between each other, but they were fast enough in between the shots landed that the ref was just like Trey Waters, and Trey Waters himself was kind of waving it off as well. He was like stop. He was like wincing at the shots that were about to come from Sam Patterson. So good shot from Sam Patterson. He gets it done in the first round. That's 4 in a row. Calls out Neil Magny. Everybody has a problem with that. Hold on. Cause it's like, damn, bro, why are you calling out Neil Magny, bro? Do you have any balls? Can you call out a real fucking fighter? But calls out Neil Magny. If you want, give it to him. If not, fuck him. You know, give him somebody else. On to the next fight, but impressive performance nevertheless from Sam Patterson. But on to the next fight. Brad Tavares versus Robert Brzezinski. Now, this one had me shitting bricks. I know a lot of people that went with Brad Tavares. I'm one of the only ones that went Robert Brzezinski just because I knew, bro, Brad Tavares got knocked out by prime losing streak Bruno Silva. And if Bruno Silva can knock you out, then the guy with fucking certified steel in his hands can knock you out. Brzezinski has 11, now 12 finishes, KO finishes. So this guy has stone in his hands, man, and it's time to stop playing. If you're getting knocked out by Bruno Silva, you're getting murdered by this kid. So good job for Robert Brzezinski in the third round. He controlled the first round completely, almost knocked him out in a few times in the first. And in the second, that's what happened in the second. Oh, in the second, Brad Tavares just picks up a pace on him. That takedown that he got at the end of round one just made Robert Brzezinski super uncomfortable, and it made him not want to disengage and create distance with them because he knew he had to get close, but he didn't want to create. What was I saying? Couldn't stop the takedowns. And he just wasn't doing anything. He was extremely inactive the entire time. And Brad Tavares was just more active at the second round. In the third round, he gets it done with just ground and pound. It was a little controversial, but he kind of shoves him to the ground. A few follow-up shots. In my opinion, it wasn't that bad. I've seen worse. But on to the second fight of the night. Both these motherfuckers look like Guram Kutaledze. Damn, man. All right. Andreas Gustafsson versus Renat Fakretinov. This would be in the top 10 worst debuts if he was actually debuting, but this is his second fight in the UFC, and his first fight in the UFC was actually a great showing of heart, determination, and will. But this was the least. This fight might have been the showing with the least amount of heart and just willpower. There was nothing to this. There was nothing to Andreas Gustafsson this entire fight. He got hit once on the chin by Renat Fakretinov and then said, you know what? I don't want to be a fighter anymore. This shit's not for me, gang, to be honest. Fuck, pick me up, Like, that's what fucking Andreas was doing. It's like, bro, whatever, dude, And super so I'm like falling asleep right now, to be honest. Super unimpressed with Andreas Gustafsson, man. From going to his performance against Chaos Williams to having this shitty performance against Renat Fakretinov. I mean, for God's sake, you're getting finished by Renat Fakretinov in the first round. Just how shit is Chaos Williams, and by default, how shit is Ishmael Bonfim, and by shit, Rude Boy is going to KO fucking Ishmael Bonfim, to be honest. If Ishmael Bonfim is struggling with, not Thiago Moises, but the other dude, and the other dude is keeping my shit running, that's a little wicked. But on to the first fight of the night. Sean O'Bannon versus Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes, just an outside technical foot battle, man. Gets a rear naked choke in the second round. Very impressive. Sean O'Bannon didn't look all that. She looked like just, pretty lady. But it was a good fight. Ended in the second round, rear naked choke by Sam Hughes. I officially went 9-4 on this card, which is a lot better than some other guys. Some other guys went 8-5 or 7-6 and whatnot. But I got 8-4. I'm pretty. I feel pretty good about that score, 9-4. I feel pretty good about it, to be honest. Not gonna lie. I feel like I did better than most of the MMA predictors in the game. I feel like I did. I'm 100% sure I did better than MMA Guru. I'm 100% sure I did better than Kenny. The other two, no, I did not. No, I did not. But yeah, good fights all in all. 10, not a 10 out of 10, but a good 8 out of 10. That was the recap video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video. And subscribe if you're new, man. Follow my Instagram at TrashmanMMA and my Twitter at TrashmanMMA. Give your boy a follow. I post a lot of good content there. And I'll catch y'all around, man. Expect a video tomorrow. Top 10 worst MMA debuts of all time. So be on the watch out for that stuff. So catch y'all later.